Thanks for the warm welcome. Good evening, everybody. Just for everyone's benefit, I'll introduce myself again. So I'm Vinay, and I am from the. I'm pursuing first year. I am MBA, and I'm Bangalore right now. So basically, I joined I think 6 months back in June. And before joining I'm Bangalore, I was working in Indian Space Research Organization for 5 years as a scientist. So I was responsible for the launch of satellites there, basically. So here, basically, right now, as I've come to know, all of you are CAT 2023 aspirants, right? So I just wanted to share my journey of how I went through the preparation for CAT 2022, and maybe from that you guys can gather some insights. So that will be my aim for today. So let's start with the technical aspects. Uh, I'm very sure that, like, since all of you are preparing for CAT 2023, I'm presuming that you know the pattern and everything. So I will not be covering that. The aspect that I will be covering with respect to, the technical details of the exam is how to choose. How to go about answering some questions, and what kind of mindset to keep when attempting every section, right? So usually what happens is, in my exam, and I think that happens with every pattern, is that work comes first. So we know that the split up is 22 questions of work, 22 questions of I think maths and quantitative ability, and 20 questions of data interpretation and logical reasoning. In general, the aim should be to get maximum number of questions correct in the work segment. The highest scoring segment almost always is the work. So it is said that if you do really well in work, the chances of you coming in with a very good percentile from that exam is very high. And if you do some mistakes there, that is where the differentiation happens. That is because, like, the average around work goes about 40 to 45 marks. So that is where, and it's the easiest scoring section, believe me. So if with some consistency, like sir was teaching parallel reasoning before this as well, right? Practicing all of the concepts, reading a lot of newspapers and articles, and not just reading them, getting deriving insights out of that is very important. So one thing that I used to do was, I used to read newspapers consistently. That is one thing. And second, I used to do a lot of paragraphs and comprehensions, and basically get a hang of how fast you can read that paragraph and get meaning out of it. Because these paragraphs, they're not very difficult. Okay, they are a little bit confusing. They want to confuse you, but they're long as well. So in whatever time you get, if it's a 2-hour examination, you get about 40 minutes, right? So in the 40 minutes, the first and foremost goal has to be to make sure that you are attempting at every question correctly, right? So you should not be like guess marking it, that in a way that we used to do in our engineering exams, for example in JEEE and all, where we're eliminating some choices, and then we are just guessing between two choices that are left. That When that happens, usually in CAT, what happens is you usually get it wrong. So getting that practice of reading the paragraph very fast, skimming through the lines, and getting whatever you want, whatever meaning you want out of that, is very, very important. So get a hang of that. Get a hang of reading things fast. That is one thing that I would suggest for work. In the quantitative ability, it's pretty straightforward. It's class 12th maths. Again, it's just practice here. uh, One thing that you guys have to remember about CAT is it's a rejection examination. They want to filter out people, so they are just testing for your speed there, like how fast can you do the questions, and how correctly can you do the questions. Can you maintain your concentration there for 2 hours? That's all they're checking. There, they are not checking your intellectual ability at all. That is one thing that you guys should just keep in your minds, when that should be your headspace when you are sitting in that examination. So quant is that's for quant. And maybe identify a few areas in which you are very strong. Get those areas absolutely on point. Like, you should not be losing marks there. And then maybe from the weak areas, you can attempt those questions in the end if you have some time. In quant, it's not necessary that you attempt all the questions. For example, in my experience, out of 22 questions, I attempted 13 questions, and all 13 I got right. So focus more on the accuracy even when you're giving your mocks, or when you're doing questions out of your books, etc. Because right, there is negative marking there, so there is no point in doing 4 correct and 2 wrong, because it will eventually turn out to be like, the net effect will be you're just doing 3 questions correctly. So in that sense, just focus on the accuracy. Even if you do like attempt like 15 questions, try to get 90% accuracy there. So that will stand you in that will hold you in very good stead when it comes to the final marks. Coming to the data interpretation, logical reasoning, if you have just started out the preparation, this particular section will feel very overwhelming in the beginning, and I request everybody here to not lose out hope there, because even I in the beginning felt really overwhelmed. uh, I, if I attempted let's say 3 questions of 3 parts, three DILR blocks with 3 questions each, sometimes I was not even able to solve one of them. That was how bad I was in the beginning. But with practice, what happens is you start to identify patterns in each and every question. That's the trick for DILR questions. You have to basically do so many questions that almost all the questions will fall under one, or like there are some 10 to 15 patterns with which you can solve every DILR question. They will fall under that. You have to just identify that and put it into practice. So that is where the practice comes in, where you develop muscle memory by just looking at the question and getting it there ki this is how I will have to go about it. Once you get that trick, it's a very straightforward question. It's very rare. So what will happen is there are 20 questions here, so it will be split into, I guess, 5 or 4 sets, out of which one set will be super difficult. So in DALR especially, it is absolutely important that you identify which question is easy, like which set is easy and which set is not. If you get stuck in a set which is tough, then what will happen is you'll waste a lot of your time, your confidence will get dented, and then that headspace will carry on to the next set also. So before attempting that the DLR section, in the last 40 minutes, go through the entire 4 sets, go through all the 20 questions, and then decide. Give like 4 minutes or 5 minutes to it. That's not an issue at all. But once you have identified there is one set which is incredibly difficult, which I don't think I'll be able to do even if I give 40 minutes to that one set itself, just strike that set out. That's your sunk cost. Leave that out, and you might have like 13 to 14 questions remaining, out of which you can easily attempt 12 questions. And even from that, if you get 10 questions right, your exam is done. Like if you get 10 questions right, you are easily in the top, let's say, 1 percentile. I can guarantee that. It plays that big a differential there. So I got only 7 questions right. Okay, and I still was able to score very well. So that is what identifying a set, the difference that it makes. So that is a strategy that I followed, and that's what I just told you guys. Like this was my mental map of going through the examination. uh, this was a technical part. Now coming to the mental part, right? So you are starting your preparation. What is it now? It's February 21, and the examination is going to happen maybe November end, I guess. So maintaining your discipline is absolutely crucial. So this, as I said in the before also, this is not a test of your intellectual ability. This is just about practice. So what is going to happen is, in the beginning, everybody has a lot of what do you say, josh jise bolte hain. Everybody wants to do it, but by the time June, July, August rolls in, because you have done so many questions, uh, somewhere or at some point or other, what will happen is complacency will start creeping in, and that is what you have to be very, very careful about. Okay, I know that there will be some kind of mental fatigue, and you'll be like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing the same questions again? But believe me, that repetition is so important when it comes to CAT, because like I can't stress this enough. Muscle memory, when it comes to seeing questions, identifying the patterns and doing it as fast as possible, is so important. So that is the critical time where if you can do it alone, maintain that discipline. Otherwise, ask your parents if you're living with them, or ask your friends to just hold you accountable, that every day you are going to go back and work on your preparation for 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever time you're giving. Set a schedule. That's very, very important. People think that they can wing it. That's not going to happen. If you plan on if the plan is based on winging it, what will happen is you'll keep postponing your preparation to the next day, and that will have a snowballing effect, and then suddenly what you will realize is that you have a lot of syllabus to cover and you don't have time. So that is one trap that you need to be very careful of. By July, maximum by August, I feel that you guys should be complete with your syllabus. You should have covered all the basics and all the topics that are going to come in CAT, and then you should pick up a examination series, a mock examination series. Again, there also I can't overstate the importance of an examination series, because that helps you put in the helps you get into that headspace and puts you on the spot. 2 hours, how are you going to implement whatever you have planned till now? So that is very important. You don't need to give a lot of examinations, but the most important aspect there is going to be, once you attempt that examination, how you're going to evaluate that, right? So if an examination is going to be for 2 hours, keep another 3 to 4 hours just to go through that examination and see what are the mistakes that you did, what is the rights that you did, and what can you change. So that entire 2 hours plus that 4 hours, 6 hours is going to be uh, an amazing investment into how you're going to give the examination. For example, in my case, I personally gave, I think, just 5 examinations, 5 mock examinations. But after every examination, and that too I was working, right? So I did not have time in the mornings or during weekdays. So I used to give it on the weekends. So in the morning, I used to like sit for, and I used to give 2 examinations per weekend, and I only gave the examinations in the end. I, for some reason, was not able to start in August. I started in October, but still I was able to cover 5 to 6 examinations. I used to sit Saturday morning, give an examination, Saturday evening, do the analysis. Again, Sunday morning, one examination, and Sunday evening, one analysis. So like this, I gave 6 examinations. And it is all about when you feel confident in your ability, right? As soon as you start feeling absolutely confident in your ability, that yeah, you are getting those questions right, your strategy is correct, that is where then you start just honing it. Okay. So that is when you stop giving too many examinations and just focusing on just this minute parts that you're doing wrong. So that is where, again, again, having discipline is very important, because it might so happen that your confidence peaks, maybe let's say in September end. Okay. And you still have 2 months. So what do you do then? Then you again go back to solving those questions, again keeping that muscle memory up, keeping that flow in, right? That basically it's like a game of cricket. Once a batsman is in flow, that does not mean that he stops practicing in the nets. Keep the practice on. Maybe reduce the number of examinations that you're giving from, let's say, 2 in a week to once in a week or once in 2 weeks, but in between just keep the practice on. That's extremely important. And second, in these next 9 months that you're having, right, don't punish yourself by not enjoying. That is very important in keeping yourself fresh. So don't think that these 9 months are something which you have to just put yourself in jail and just study. That is also one very critical aspect. If you have vacations in between, go for a 1 or 2 week vacation, etc., but just don't overdo it. So basically, you just have to make sure that you have to keep the mental energy up. That's the game. Many people, I can tell you right now, drop out because of the fact that, one, either they get exhausted, or they get bored, or that they're just not able to maintain the discipline. If these three aspects you're able to make sure of, I can assure you that in the end, CAT is just going to feel like a cakewalk, because you have done the enough practice. And CAT examinations are not like your if any of you is an engineer, you will know that J Advanced is all about, like, intellect and all that. Like, they're the questions are really tough there. CAT is absolutely not like that. CAT is just a game of how much practice you have done, and have you seen a lot of questions. So I have answered that, but I'll just repeat it in a very short way. So Arjun, it doesn't really depend on the time here. It is a function of how comfortable you are with the topics. For example, I was not at all comfortable with DILR. So and also I could not give time every day to study since I was working. So I used to come back to sometimes at 8:30 in the evening, and I was absolutely tired. So I personally am very comfortable with maths and English. So basically I did not prepare for English at all, because my confidence levels with English is pretty high. But I had to prepare for some amount of math because, as I said, right, I have 5 years of work ex, so I had forgotten some class 12th math. But in general, I'm strong with math as well. So what I used to do was I used to give about 2 hours every 2 days. So I used to study alternatively because I had to manage my time with work as well. I used to study alternatively for 2 hours DLR, and then during the weekends I used to practice math. So that is how I managed my time. Again, because I was not confident about DLR and I wanted to sharpen my DLR up. So it totally depends on you. You first have to sit and analyze what is your strong point, what is your weak point, and then depending on that, you have to distribute time there. That's why you're starting so early, right? Give time right now. Figure out whether this much time is enough for you to cover some topics, and if it's not enough, increase it. If you think that you're overdoing it, decrease it. Motivation can come from two points. One is internal, one is external. So the external motivation is very important. Always remember that. So it can either come from parents, your friends, your colleagues. So somebody should know that you are, trying to scale a mountain here, right? It will be it will be a very easy mountain to climb if you have the support of your loved ones. So for in my case, I had the support of my sister and my parents. So whenever I used to feel like, this is just getting too much, they always used to show me the light at the end of the tunnel, because uh, I am Bangalore is an amazing place to be, right? So I always was motivated to reach there, but sometimes you tend to forget the end goal, and you feel that the process is too hard and you want to give up. But at such crucial junctions of time, external motivation helps a lot. From the internal point of view, I used to basically, what I used to do is I used to go and visit my previous performances, and whenever I used to feel that, this is I am not able to do well, what I used to do was, from the beginning towards till that point of time, I used to go through what I had achieved and how much I had progressed, and that used to give me further boost that okay, I am on the right path. So even if like there is like 2-3 months left and there's still time to go, this is what used to give me a lot of motivation ki I am doing well right now, and I should just stay focused for the next 2-3 months, and the rewards that I'm going to get are absolutely disproportionate. So that is why I think we are having this talk also right now, right? So you get to talk to me, and I can assure you that the rewards at the end of the tunnel are amazing. Like uh, uh, you should have zero doubt about the fact that if and when you get through CAT and come to these institutions, the amount of learning that you will get, the amount of exposure that you will get is insane. And this is what was told to be by my seniors as well. So I was fortunate to have seniors who studied in IIM Bangalore and IIM Calcutta, and they motivated me. Maybe once a month I used to talk to them, and they used to be like, just put in the effort right now. Maybe you can't see it, but just trust us when we say that it's worthwhile. Like giving every day 4 hours, it's absolutely worthwhile, and your life trajectory changes basically once you get into these institutions. To not focus on questions like this, because that's a long way of others, right? You have like 1 year exactly. So right now in IIM Bangalore, interviews are going on for after CAT. Right now, just focus on giving this CAT examination and clearing that. So even I was absolutely not clear about why I wanted to give CAT, to be very honest. Okay, I had no idea ki, what I will do after this. I just wanted a change in my life. Okay, I had been in ISRO for 5 years. I felt that I had learned a lot there, and I just want to I just want to see like how like I had heard that going to IMB changes you as a person. It gives you a lot of opportunities. You learn a lot. You grow as an individual, and that is what I wanted to do. Of course, the answer that I gave in my interview was much more nuanced. There were a lot of other factors as well, which you will have a lot of time to figure out once you get the CAT result. Like the CAT result comes out in the first week of Jan, and you have like 2 months to figure out why MBA, write proper answers, professional answers to tell the professor. But right now, I would suggest that just keep your head down. Do not think about why MBA. Get the CAT percentile and then think about it. Like, it's always better to have an A, B, and C call and then think about why I want to do that MBA, rather than
Absolutely.
think right now and then not have the call. And that is literally the advice that everybody gave to me, because I also asked this question. Uh, I'm so sorry, sir. The power just went off here.
Okay.
Just
No,
give
no
me
issues.
a
No
second
issues.
here. Yeah. So
Mm.
I was even I had the doubt at that point of time, that should I just give up right now, because I'm not even sure why I want to do an MBA. But they were like, put in the effort right now. After you give your MBA, you will have like 2 months. You will be able to research a lot. You will be able to talk to people a lot. There are people on LinkedIn. You have friends, etc. And once you talk to them, I mean, you can even connect to me post your CAT, and then I'll give you a proper answer as to why you should do an MBA. But right now, I would say that, as I said, I can assure you that the rewards are disproportionate, and just focus on CAT, clear the CAT, get your call, and then you will have a lot of resources